Morning everyone, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Today is another video and I am doing one that you guys have been requesting for a little while, basically since I got the new car. So as you can tell, I am on my driveway. The Porsche is behind me, but the Lotus is not in the garage. It's sitting out here, and that's because today I am going to give you a full in-depth tour and basically tell you everything I know about this car. First thing, what I have to say is if there is at any point any excessive wind noise, I do apologize. It is a bit windier than I expected it to be. It's also quite bright, so I'm gonna have to deal with those two things, but hopefully we should be fine. But let's get started with the tour then, shall we? So as some of you may have seen, I went to pick this car up on Christmas Day, so I haven't had it for that long, but I've already learned a fair amount about it, and I figured I probably knew enough to give you a decent in-depth tour. So it's a Lotus Elise Club Racer. What does that mean? It means it has a 1.6 litre engine, which I'll show you a tiny bit later, has 136 horsepower, and that allows it to do 0 to 60 apparently in 6.5 seconds, and top speed of 204 kilometers an hour. Which is not crazy speeds, but it's definitely fast enough to sort of get your blood flowing, as they say. The most impressive thing with this car, having driven it on some of the little roads around here, A, the acceleration is pretty impressive, and B, just the cornering. I mean, the way it handles is beautiful. It doesn't have any power steering, so you literally can feel everything from the surface of the road to exactly what the front tires are doing. I mean, I am no pro driver by any means, but I definitely enjoy driving and I enjoy a good driving experience. And this is one of the most natural, sort of engaging driving experiences I have ever had. Those are the performance sort of stats, and I'll show you the engine in a bit. It is a 4-cylinder engine, which means it basically doesn't drink any fuel, which is great in terms of running costs. I've only filled this car up twice, and it was about 48 euros each time, so nothing too bad at all. I will do a full cost video at one point of owning this car, but obviously I haven't had it long enough to really be able to tell you any of that stuff. Let's get into it. Let's start with the exterior. Most noticeably with this one is the matte black paint. So a lot of people ask me if this is a wrap, but this is actually factory paint, and I am told there are only 3 factory painted Lotus Elise Club Racers in the country, so this makes it pretty special. And I've been told that this is the only one with these matte black rims around, so that makes this particular car pretty special indeed, and I love the whole stealth look of the car. This being the Club Racer, as you can see here, and then up on the strut there. Yeah, I have to say, I apologize, the car is absolutely filthy. I don't know if you can see that. I'm figuring out, I'm getting some products sent to me to be able to clean the matte paint. Until then I've just sort of washed it with water, but I need to give it a proper clean. But anyways, so yes, this being the Club Racer means that it's actually lighter than the normal Elise. It is naturally aspirated, no turbos or anything, but it is so light. It weighs 870 kilos, this one, which is nothing for a car, but it is really not that big. I mean, it's not very long, it's decently wide. I mean, it's not that skinny of a car, but it's definitely the length which is the thing that sort of makes the car look so tiny. Tiny little wheelbase, and the wheels aren't that big either. I would like to be able to tell you what inches they are, but I'm not too sure. The Club Racer is also just pretty stripped out on the interior. I'll show you briefly, we'll do a full tour of the interior, but mainly Club Racer means that you don't necessarily have radio or aircon, and you get these special seats here, which are like the ultimate sport seats. Keeping on the exterior, we've got these, so these are the forged wheels. I wish I could tell you more about them, but I've got some Yokohama tires on there, and I think these rims look really cool, obviously matching the car in the matte black. The tires aren't that fat. I mean, they said it was about 600 euros to replace all 4, so that's not bad at all. While we're back here, let's also look at, there's a pretty nice little diffuser there, which makes the car look sporty when you're following it. It's sort of got this mean look, and the tires sort of come out a tiny bit, so it looks pretty mean and wide. Then there's the exhaust. This car doesn't make a lot of noise stock, So hopefully that will be changing pretty soon. I plan on changing the exhaust as soon as I can. I'm just looking into different options. If you know anything about Elise 1.6s and the exhaust, please let me know. One fun fact, because this is the Club Racer, these are stickers. They're not normally on Lotus. Oh, speaking of which, that was sort of coming off. Normally this wouldn't be stickers, it would just be like a proper logo, but sort of like Porsche do with the GT3 RS. They replaced that with stickers because this is the light version and all. So yeah, the Club Racer. There you've got your fuel filler cap on the passenger side, which you unlock the key just like that. And there you go, then you can't really put it anywhere, but that's how you do the fuel. And as I said, one of the best things about this car is because it's only a little 4-cylinder engine, it doesn't actually use that much fuel. Lights at the front, I got this facelifted version because, as you know, originally the Elises had these sort of 2 lights in the front on each side, so a 4-light front light design. Whoa, that was a complicated sentence to say. But anyways, I do like the way these new lights look. You got the daytime LEDs that run as well, which look fantastic during the day. And then you put your lights on at night. They're not automatic, they are manual, so you need to remember not to leave them on, of course. I've gotten a lot of questions on Instagram as well as to what these were. These are the previous owner, who I'm told was a dentist. I bought this from the Lotus dealership. Took it on these tracks. So yeah, it's already been on the Nürburgring, Spa and Circuit de Barcelona, which is pretty cool, I think, and I thought they looked kind of nice, the stickers there, and it sort of reminds me of the racing pedigree of this car. It also means it's been thrashed before now. Apparently he was very, very, very good with the car, just took it to the track, but then he wouldn't actually drive it that much. When he wasn't on the track, and he would drive it quite easily. So the car's in perfect condition. I bought it with 21,600 kilometers. And it's already got, I don't know how many, but quite a few more than that. Why don't I show you the engine now? So, to get into the engine bay, there's a little lever down here, which you just pull forwards, and that opens up. People often ask if there's anything in the front here. There are a few things. So this doesn't come up. You can't lift that up or anything. There's nothing there. You can, however, remove this, but it's not a simple job. When you do that, you got your brake fluid and your windscreen wiper cleaning stuff. But yeah, so you can do that. Then this will be tricky to do while holding the camera. If I lift this up, there's then a little strut there, which you use to hold this up, because obviously if I let it go now, it won't hold. But this doesn't really weigh much. I don't know what it's made out of, but it's quite light. And there's your engine. That's the 136 horsepower, 4-cylinder, sorry, Toyota engine. Apart from the noise, it's doing really well. I really like it. The torque's pretty good and the acceleration is fantastic. And again, I mean, due to the weight of this car, you just get such an amazing feel. But right behind that, you have the boot, which is not really big at all. It does go fairly deep, but that's about it. And then another option apparently is this, which is battery cutout for when you're leaving the car and not driving it for a while. You would just press that so that the battery doesn't run out. Funky race car switch right there. But yes, I think it does look really nice. When you put this back down, you can see the Lotus performance through there, and it looks pretty cool. And I like the black grills as well. It's just everything is blacked out on this car. The grills in the front, right there, blacked out. Down here as well, they're all blacked out. But why don't we get inside and check out the interior? This particular car doesn't have central locking. That's an option as well on the Club Racer, so I need to unlock each car at a time. One thing the Club Racers do have, these stickers on the door here. You got your little door handle that you use to pull the door shut, and then the whole door is Alcantara, which is something I loved with the Club Racer, because Alcantara and carbon fiber basically, but there isn't any in this car, are the best things ever. This comes all the way down to the electric windows, which I'm pretty sure are an option. I'm not entirely convinced. And then your door handle all the way down in the corner there, with some nice contrast stitching. And if we pan around, obviously there are the seats that I showed you before, which are plastic, I think. I'm not too sure, don't quote me on that, with Alcantara in the middle, so that's quite nice. You got the Lotus logo as well in the headrest. The seats do hold you in really nicely. You are, however, really low. I mean, Lotuses are famously hard to get in and out of, because A, the roof line is really low, and then this sort of monocoque chassis thing, whatever you call it, comes up quite high, and the seat's really low, so you have a really small gap to get into, so it makes it quite tricky. But once you get the hang of it, it's fine. Keeping on the Alcantara theme, again, I apologize for how dirty the car is inside. It will be cleaned very soon. You got an Alcantara steering wheel, obviously you got some leather as well right here. Your horn is there, you just press right there, that's the horn. Then you got the Alcantara up here as well. Tiny little steering wheel, quite thin rimmed, but it gives you a great feel of what's going on through the tires, and that's one of my favorite things so far is the steering. Then if we come down this way, we've got our engine start button. That's obviously, you have to put the key in, turn the key, switch the alarm off, and then you can press this and that starts your engine. Then you've got all your light controls right there, which obviously you need to press, they're not automatic. Let me just hop into the seat and then I'll show you the rest of the interior. One leg in, swing your bum in, and here we go. Entered the Lotus Elise Club Racer. So here's the key, nothing too special, this doesn't fold in or anything. You've got a few alarm buttons here, I'm not entirely sure how they work if I'm honest. There we go. Put the key in here, turn that, then there's a little button on the back of the key which you press, switch the alarm off, and then I always put my foot on the clutch. Boom, there it is. Here, obviously your instrument cluster, you got your revs and your speed, and then I don't know if you can see down here, you may have seen in my last vlog I spoke about this, the digital readout, which is in miles per hour, which I can't change to kilometers now, which is annoying. Then you've got your fuel, how much fuel's left, and then obviously the time. There's the car. A few cool things, so that little light down bottom there, the blue one, tells you when the engine's warm, and that's when you can start going for it. And then another thing, if I accelerate hard, I don't know if you saw those three lights. They basically, three lights, like in Ferraris or in F1 cars, will tell you when you can change gear. So it goes boom, 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 and when the third light comes on, boof, you change gear, and that's quite cool. That's quite race car-y. Then down this way, you got this really nice aluminium shifter, which has great feel. It is quite tough, especially when the car is cold, but it's quite a short throw, and you can really hear the gears, the gear linkages, I think you would call them. And you can sort of really feel it as well. It's beautiful. I mean, this gear, I love this gearbox. I think it's really, really nice. And you can really, you have to be a bit careful at first changing. Like, look, now going into first, it's kind of stiff. But yeah, and then to go into reverse, you just pull this up and all the way to the right. 6 gears, not 5. Then down here, you have your hazards. Your traction control, which you press and hold, and then you get a little light there telling you that the traction's off. We've also got a sport button, same thing, press and hold that and a little sport sign will come up. Press it again, switch it off. And then down here is where you'd normally have your central locking buttons, but I don't have that as an option. Then as we come here, you've got all your heating and cooling, your air conditioning. You may have seen in one of my last videos I complained about the aircon on this thing. It's not the best. It's pretty simple. You basically got your fan speed, your heat temperature type thing, and then where you want it to go. Recycling and aircon. So yeah, I mean, pretty straightforward, but it does do the job. And then you can close or open these and point them wherever you want them to go, kind of thing. So it's not too bad, to be honest. We've then got this radio system. I think this isn't the original that's in the car. This is a JVC, but it works really well. Obviously, I plug my phone in every time I get in. That charges it, and then I can play the music off my phone. It does also have Bluetooth, however, and here is a little microphone for voice command, so I can take my phone calls through that, which is pretty practical. I don't have a glove box, none of them do. You just get this little ledge here. However, you can get as an option a footrest. This one does not have the footrest, and as I'm sure you noticed, it also doesn't have carpet. But I think it's kind of cool, like the way it's just completely bare bones sort of race car. Like, obviously this isn't my daily driver, but I use it once in a while, and for that purpose I think it's perfect. There you go. There are the pedals, aluminium pedals down there. And then what else on the interior? I am going to do a video about the roof, about removing the roof and everything. The visibility is not too bad. If you peek out that way, that's your rear view. And you got this cool view out of the wing mirrors as well. I've got 2 tweeters at the front there. You may have seen my last vlog. Those aren't currently connected. And then if you can see that, there's one there, and then same on the other side. You've then got your light here, which I switch off just for battery, but you can use that to illuminate the cabin at night. A little storage area back here, and that's pretty much it storage wise. You then do have a little pocket there to put your phone or whatever. That's pretty much it, to be honest. I mean, there's not much more I can show you. I am so happy with this car. It does exactly what I wanted it to do. I mean, obviously the interior is quite bare and stuff, but I sort of think that makes this car feel more special when you're driving it, and you really, when you do drive it quickly and you really get the right lines and everything, you feel like, yeah, I did that. You know, I didn't have too many aids helping me, and no, it's just the most satisfying driving experience that I've had, and I feel so lucky to have this car. And yeah, I'm just genuinely happy. I'm about to run out of memory on my memory card, so I'm gonna end the video right now. But I hope you enjoyed it. It was a quick little tour around the car. And if you have any more questions and you want me to do more videos, I'm gonna do one on the roof, how that works. I'm gonna do a review and a few other videos planned. So it's exciting times ahead, but there we go. That's an in-depth tour. You now know everything about my car, the options and all the rest. And I hope to see you very soon. Take care, guys. Please remember to subscribe. And thanks again for all the support. Bye! Well, hey, so first time I take this car out on my local little road.